The following is an AI-based parody created for satire and entertainment purposes. All voices, conversations, and scenarios are artificially generated and do not represent the opinions, actions, or voices of any individuals represented. This content is not meant to confuse or misinform.
It's time for me to boost my KD ratio to the moon, boys.
Before you go sate your need for blood, kindly go talk to our squad mates.
I was hoping for one last chance to shoot my shot at Samara.
I thought we all came to an agreement on romancing Tally last episode.
I mean, sure, but I haven't given up hope.
Donald, my man, you're coping more than Joe was when he thought he wasn't too old to run for president. We're so deep into Renegade, there's no way Samara will entertain the idea of a romance.
Nah, man, she's just playing hard to get.
I feel like you're setting us up to be embarrassed here, Donald.
You have been a good friend to me.
Bro, she just called us a friend. Just take that and leave it be. Don't push it any further. Save yourself.
I'm shooting my shot no matter what. I don't care if I have to do it from the other side of the court. I'm sinking it in anyway.
We have a connection.
Well, she took our hands. Maybe this is a good sign.
I am sorry, Shepard.
Okay, never mind.
No, my heart has been broken.
Well, this is awkward.
I've seen you do too many things that would compel me to violence if I were not under oath.
I did warn you, Donald. This is the cost of being a renegade. The hot blue space Paladin won't take you.
Well, if she won't take me at my most renegade, she doesn't deserve me when I'm Paragon.
When the hell are you ever Paragon?
Just watch me, I'll be Paragon while I'm talking to Thane right now.
Wow, Donald, first name basis? No frog or toad or anything like that? I'm impressed you've come a long way.
Don't pat him on the back too hard. He's only cool with Thane because he heard he used kids to help him on his jobs a couple episodes ago.
What? No, come on, I'm just finally learning what's so great about this guy.
I just realized we're kind of behind on Thane's dialogue.
It's difficult to control at times. Some of us disappear into, let's call it solipsism.
Solipsism is a real-world philosophical idea that only your own mind is sure to exist. So basically, Thane is saying the Drell lose themselves in their memories, getting trapped within their own consciousness.
I've said it before and I'll say it again. Let me get that power and I'm retaining all my favorite adult entertainment in my head.
Hey, Barry, help me out here. Don't the Salarians also have really good memories or something?
Salarians have photographic memories and can remember basically anything they see or hear, but they don't literally relive those memories like the Drell do. You can remember your first time driving or your first date.
Well, you might be able to, but Joe sure can.
Thank you, Donald.
Like I was trying to say, you can remember your first time driving or your first date, but you don't relive those moments in vivid detail. Interestingly, the Drell adapted their detailed memory because they needed to remember the locations of necessary resources on the deprived Rakana for vast distances.
So what you're telling me is they're kind of like elephants. An elephant never forgets.
Yeah, except when an elephant remembers the body of water they drank from the day they were born, they don't tweak out about it for 5 minutes.
Perfect detail. Every mistake I made, every target's last breath.
I wonder if Thane can remember every time Joe died last episode.
If Thane doesn't, I sure as hell do.
I thought we finally made peace. Why are you guys tag teaming me again?
Pause.
We might have finally agreed to romance Tally, but you still deserve to get cooked over being the root cause of all the drama for the past 19 goddamn videos.
Your mind does. You make the choice to kill.
When someone aims a gun at you, you pull your trigger. You don't think. It's reflex.
Dan, you hear that? You can get away with anything just by saying it was a reflex.
Yeah, it was just a reflex when I smelled that kid.
Which one?
Which one is insane work?
Humans, we see our body as a vessel and accept that it is not always under our control.
Not even going to get into how problematic that is, Thane.
So if I shot you dead right now, a Drell court wouldn't convict me?
You'd be guilty because you chose to shoot me. If my reflexes caused me to draw and fire when I saw your gun come up, I would be innocent.
Thane kind of stood on business there, not gonna lie.
Bro's tweaking if he thinks he's going to outshoot me.
I'm all for glazing Barton Joe Shepard, but if Thane wanted to kill us right now, he could do it before anyone could stop him.
The last time we talked, you remembered one of your assassinations. Something about sunset-colored eyes?
That time.
I can't blame him for this one. Have you seen what his wife looked like?
Erica Krios was bad as hell, you gotta admit it.
I'd turn over a new leaf for her, too.
Honestly, it's no wonder Thane tortured her killers. Totally justifiable and understandable crash out.
She couldn't see me, but she stared me down.
Staring down a laser from a sniper rifle as a civilian has to be some insane aura.
I hope we get a female Drell as a squad mate in Mass Effect Epsilon or whatever the next game is called.
No. She was a vivid person.
I should get back to my duties.
Shepard, I appreciate these chats we have.
Yeah, well, you're not so bad yourself, Green Man.
Who are you and what have you done with Donald?
Donald J. Trump being nice to a male alien? Ain't no way.
Okay, calm down. It's not that big a deal. I'm nice to Grunt all the time.
Yeah, because he's a Krogan. Thane is a Drell.
That guy from July 13th really gave you some life-changing trauma.
I haven't gone soft watch. I'm gonna go insult Garrus right now.
You already f***ed up calling him by his name, instead of referring to him as a damn bird.
Next you'll be talking about how you want to date a Turian woman.
Okay, you are getting too crazy now. Just because I felt bad about what Barack did to Joram doesn't mean I'm gonna be holding hands with those scaly reptilian, feather-brained birds.
Have you got a minute?
Say the line, Bart.
Can it wait for a bit? I'm in the middle of some calibrations.
It's a shame there's exactly zero dialogue for you and Garrus going forward if you don't romance him.
It's definitely an area where Mass Effect 2 drops the ball. 3 and Andromeda are much better than 1 and 2 in this regard.
Well, if we want to talk to some more people, maybe I'll stop by Kasumi and Zaid before I get to go blow up some Batarians.
We did say we kind of did them dirty not talking to them.
I'm sure Kasumi will have something to say given that she's always spying on everyone.
Out there, and I hear it all. You might want to dial down Jack's biotic implants before you hook up with her again.
Oh my God.
How does she know about that?
I just went over this. Kasumi sees everything.
I like the implication that biotics were flying wild during the hookup.
That means at least everyone on Deck 4 felt everything that was happening.
But it doesn't make it.
Ken, Gabby, Tali, Grunt, and Zahid.
Oh no, Tali heard us breaking Jack's
I've
back.
done business with
I hope that isn't a deal breaker for her.
Can we please stop talking about this?
I'll have more to talk about.
Jack, Subject Zero, whatever you call her. Hell of a girl.
Oh, trust me, we're very familiar.
God damn it, knock it off.
Zahid's exploits fascinate me. It's like the guy has his own personal suicide mission every other week.
Given that like half his stories involve him either being betrayed or him being a sole survivor, it's no wonder he isn't a successful fire team leader.
Shepard, how can I help?
All right, Doc, what you got for me today?
Oh, this is going to be good.
Wanted to talk. Medical matters. Aware that mission is dangerous. Different species react differently to stress. Aware you come by a great deal. Have had other species become attracted to me before.
Excuse me?
Morden thinking we're making a move on him is not what I expected.
Bro thinks he can pull Shepard of all people?
Well, if the Citadel DLC is to be believed, Morden broke Omega's #1 rule in more ways than one, if you catch my meaning.
Arya does admit to liking Morden, so I'm not surprised to hear that.
There is no fucking way he bagged Arya T-Loke before me.
You better put some respect on Morden Solis's name.
All right, enough talk. It's time for me to spin back for our family and friends from Mindoir. And special shout out to Talitha.
It's also time for the big return of everyone's favorite segment, the Cut Content Corner.
Oh, God.
It's been a good few episodes without hearing you say that name again.
Yeah, whatever. You two can stay hating while I do what I do best and enrich the experience for everyone. The arrival situation was originally going to take place in an underwater base built by humans. Shepard would land on an ocean planet and take a submarine down to the main base. Eventually, the idea was scrapped and things were moved to an asteroid.
Here's a question for the audience. Would you rather be stranded in space or in the ocean?
Assuming we have enough air? Obviously, the ocean, you can actually try to get back to the surface. The f*** are you going to do in space?
Outer space is the obvious answer. Even if you die, maybe a hyper-advanced alien race of space baddies will find you and bring you back to life.
Everything always comes back to gooning with you.
Far more likely you end up flying into a star or gas giant or something.
Well, with Donald's mass, it is more likely the star or gas giant flies into him instead.
Really, Joe? You're coming after me for my weight?
You've been making fun of me for my obvious and undeniable mental decline for years. I don't want to hear it.
Yes, we all know how much you two love each other.
I just vomited a little.
Moving on to some other cut content for the Arrival DLC. As you know, we only find Dr. Kenson here in the Batarian base, but some cut dialogue indicates that there were other prisoners here as well. And Shepard would free them on their way to the main objective.
That would certainly help this part of the mission seem like less of a walking simulator.
All right, Donald, it's up to you. Do you want to sneak in, or do you want to go in guns blazing?
Well, as if that's even a question.
Why am I not surprised?
Why would I pass up the opportunity to catch some additional Batarian bodies just to be stealthy?
You know what? That's valid.
Whoa, easy there, Donald. That would have been embarrassing.
Not even close. I know you want me to die so you can get back in first place, Barack, but it's not going to happen.
Is there even any point in being stealthy here?
There's not really any use in going the stealthy approach unless you want to avoid combat. There was an achievement for getting to Dr. Kenson without getting caught back in the original release of Mass Effect 2. But that was removed in the Legendary Edition.
It is still endlessly hilarious that the mission where we blow up a goddamn mass relay is more stealthy than Kasumi's loyalty mission.
Interestingly enough, activating Tactical Cloak to walk past the guards would still trigger combat. So maybe that's why the stealth component of Kasumi's loyalty mission is missing.
Colonel, I'm trying to sneak around, but I'm dummy thick and the clap of my ass cheeks keeps alerting the guards.
Ah, yes, some more victims.
Much less destroyed. Those humans will do anything to destroy us, I swear.
You're damn right we'll do whatever we can to destroy you.
A rare moment where the Reapers and I were in alignment. They came into the Milky Way and throttled the f*** out of the Batarians.
My only regret is that they didn't leave any for the rest of us, but I'll settle for the 300,000 in this mission.
Not that I care or anything, I'm mostly just playing devil's advocate here, but isn't it kind of messed up we joke about hating Batarians and very happily mass murder them?
Who said anything about joking?
Normally I'd agree with you, Joe, but there really isn't any way for us to look at the Batarians and not think they aren't giant blights upon the galaxy.
Any alien species that wants to beef with humanity can get the smoke for all I care.
Even setting aside human and Batarian tensions, they just plain suck. I'll use the planet we're on, Eratote, as an example. Eratote is in the Skyllian Verge, which might make you wonder why the planet is a Batarian world and not a human one. The Alliance gave up contesting it because the air pressure and oxygen content were too low, allowing the Batarians free to attempt to terraform it as they please.
Did they pull that off, or did they screw it up again like they did on the Telton facility planet?
The Batarians were more successful here. They colonized the planet's polar regions, and Alliance intelligence confirms several military installations, which are a bit too close to human space.
One more reason to wipe this place off the map.
Anyway, I digress. The Batarian hegemony sells Eratote as a massive success in Alliance cowardice. They portray Eratote being built from the ground up by a muscular Batarian miner, summing up millions of man-hours of labor. But as you might expect, this grossly misrepresents much of the colony's history. In reality, the Batarians shipped large numbers of laborers to build the colony up, taking huge financial costs and tons of casualties due to accidents and logistical mistakes.
Just so I'm clear, when you say laborers, you mean f***ing slaves, right?
100%. The dark side to the mining efforts on Eratote is that the majority of these laborers are either indentured servants or slaves. To put a number on it, the total population of the planet is over 300,000, but only an estimated 90,000 of those individuals are considered free, while the rest of them are categorized as other. So this is all to say, when you hear us or anyone else in the Mass Effect fandom absolutely shitting all over the Batarians as a species, it's not without ample reason.
Literally, the only Batarian people don't have 100% smoke for is Bray from the Omega DLC.
And that dude is still one of Aria's people, so he probably isn't the best guy himself either.
Even the average Batarian worker sucks as a person. There was a woman named Jella. She's a minor character from the Mass Effect Revelation novel. She helped start a mass shooting at her workplace, and to be totally fair, she didn't know it was going to happen. But she still left the door open and shut down security. This allowed a Krogan named Scar and a platoon of Blue Suns to enter the facility and shoot everyone dead and blow up the place for good measure. Jella was critically wounded in the fire, and when our old friend Saren shows up to interrogate her in the hospital, he removes her life support and lets her die.
That's an extremely rare Saren W.
Saren is honestly pretty cold in the novel.
You know, I hadn't considered it, but this was originally DLC, right? So what happened if you didn't have it back in the old days? What goes down?
If you don't complete Arrival, the Alpha Relay will still be destroyed to stop the Reapers from showing up. Instead of Commander Shepard, the responsibility will be shifted to the Alliance's 103rd Marine Division.
Oh, so in that case, Hackett decided he could send more than one person in.
The 103rd Division is Earth's largest collection of Special Forces soldiers, including officers from the Skyllian Blitz and the First Contact War. While the teams they sent to rescue Kenson do still destroy the relay, they will unfortunately be killed in the explosion. This will be a crippling blow to the 103rd, resulting in losing 50 points to our military strength in Mass Effect 3.
Wait, so you're telling me the 103rd Division actually believed in the Reaper threat?
Well, Hackett made it clear that he believes in it, and Kenson probably convinced them before she gave in to indoctrination.
It kind of just makes Shepard's exploits here all the more impressive.
We have to go.
Not only do we manage to rescue Kenson solo, we destroy the relay and live to tell the tale.
One of the most annoying things about this is that the Batarian helmets only have one pair of eyes.
Even BioWare didn't care enough about the Batarians to give them appropriate armor.
Even setting aside the obvious inconsistency here, this also conflicts with Batarian culture. They strongly believe that other species with fewer than 4 eyes are less intelligent. They believe they get an upper hand in interspecies arguments because other races find it difficult to know what eyes to focus on when speaking.
If they're so great at winning arguments, they wouldn't have had such a hard time getting the Council to back them when the Alliance started settling the Verge.
We'll see who's really intelligent after I shoot them in 3 of their eyes.
Only 3, Donald? I'm shocked.
I'd only let them keep 1 just so they can see the look in my face as I get ready to make them bite the curb in 4K 60 frames per second.
Kenson, sweetheart, We didn't come all the way out here for you to die by Batarian hands anyway. Get your ass into cover.
You know it's bad when Joe's out here telling you to get in cover.
Don't be too hard on her. She might be in the Alliance, but she's a scientist, so even if she got training, she rarely gets to put it into practice.
Not to mention that Reaper artifact probably fried her brain.
Is that what happened to you?
And he got upset because I called him fat earlier.
Here are some fun facts about our friend Amanda here. She went to the University of Arcturus, where she published the paper that suggests the mass relays predate the Protheans. Kenson's team tested dust trapped in the gravity wells around the mass relay and compared it to the dust clouds in the same system, concluding that most of the relays are older than 50,000 years. Another scholar named Arana T. Mells of the University of Ceres was skeptical of Kenson's findings, as she tried the same method and discounted it due to a lack of supporting evidence.
Well, I guess Kenson won that one.
Donald, you're really taking your time with that last one.
Shut the f up. I want him to peek me so I can blast him and he's cowering behind the wall.
So you decided to beat the hell out of him instead.
As long as it gets the job done.
Did you hear that? That was one of those prisoners we would have been rescuing in the cut events for this mission.
Wait, so we're just going to leave these people here to be tortured by Batarians?
Of course not, Joe. We're going to leave them here to get nuked. When we blow up the relay, they won't have to worry about being tortured.
Well, if I have to go out, I'd rather it be in a massive solar system destroying explosion than slowly and painfully at the hands of a Batarian.
Other side, go!
God damn it, Kenson. How many f***ing instructions are you going to give me? What direction are they coming from?
They should be coming up on one of the elevators right now.
Hey, Amanda, why don't you stick to writing papers on things Shepard figured out casually on one of their adventures and leave the combat to me?
This bit of combat looks like it would be difficult.
Yeah, I'm sure you would have racked up 3 or more deaths by now, but me? I'm on cruise control right now.
Arrival can be a real pain in the ass if you take it on early in the game, just like with Kasumi's loyalty mission. I don't even want to know what the section would be like if we didn't have any upgrades, a worse gun, and weaker talents.
Why would you even do Arrival early anyway? It's a perfect transition to Mass Effect 3.
Honestly, even this is a bit earlier than I'd like.
Normally I'd do Arrival last, but we're running a production here. And let's be honest, we all want things to come to a close on the suicide mission.
It's time for my last bit of Batarian meat until I press the big red button.
It is kind of funny this mission is iconic for us blowing up 300,000 Batarians when we personally end up killing a bunch of Alliance personnel, including the person we came here to save.
In our defense, Amanda Kenson kind of blows herself up regardless of whether or not you choose to shoot her.
She just couldn't wait for the relay to explode.
Was that Incinerate? Amanda has some pretty decent powers.
Kenson has Incinerate and Overload. She seems to be some kind of tech specialist, which is consistent with her role as a scientist.
And just like that, she's more useful in gameplay than Jack is. We should have recruited her instead.
Hey, Layoff, Jack is great against the husks on lower difficulties, and she has a decent use case on the harder modes, too.
The only use case she's had in this entire series of videos thus far is for a nice little one-night stand.
I hate you so much.
Why are you complaining? At least you got to sleep with your romance option. I got left with a pile of ashes.
Yeah, at the cost of the actual romance, Jack won't even talk to us anymore.
Okay, settle down, boys. We buried the hatchet on this one. We're all in on Tali now. Besides, Jack will be over all of this by the time we see her in Mass Effect 3.
She's got to have a pretty short memory to just forget she wants nothing to do with us later.
It's all because we bonded as a unit during the suicide mission.
All right, that's enough playing with my food. We got a star system to blow up.
Getting hit by the tech armor pulse and punched into the shuttle is crazy.
We got one last thing to do before we head off to the project base. Time to give the Batarians a taste of their own medicine.
Now you're speaking my language.
Burn, baby, burn.
I wish we could have gotten more of them.
Don't worry, all the more for you to blow up later on.
Do you think they'll come after you?
I'm not taking any chances. Batarians don't take kindly to humans who plan to destroy their mass relays.
Batarians don't take kindly to humans at all.
Well, to be fair, that's about half the story. My people and I were here investigating rumors of Reaper technology.
You know, it sure would be nice if people would start sharing their rumors of Reaper technology with the one guy in the galaxy who actually knows about them personally.
Maybe they couldn't reach us, you know, because we're with Cerberus at the moment.
Being with Cerberus didn't stop Hackett from reaching us.
From here, The Reapers can invade anywhere in the galaxy.
Hey boys, I think we need to have a talk about the events of the Arrival DLC.
What about it?
So the big reveal later on in the mission is that Amanda Kenson and the rest of her team is indoctrinated, right? So why in the hell is she telling Shepard exactly how to stop the Reapers?
Maybe it's not affecting her at the moment.
Nah, it don't work like that. Once you're indoctrinated, you're cooked. Sure, the Reapers can ease off the gas a little and give you some autonomy like they did with Saren, but there's no way they wouldn't lock in when Kenson starts telling Shepard how to stop them from reaching the Alpha Relay.
The situation with Rana Thanoptis shows us that once you've gotten even a taste of indoctrination, the Reapers have free reign to do whatever they want.
It could be that this is all for show. The Reapers want Shepard, and telling us the truth will get us to come along.
Maybe. But then why was Kenson telling the Batarian the truth about the Reapers coming to the system while she was in interrogation? What would have been the plan if the Batarians actually believed her and set out to blow up the relay?
That's without even getting into why these random-ass Batarians on some random colony planet even know about the Reapers to begin with.
I do recall the Batarians having some experience with Reaper technology before.
Not just Reaper tech, the Batarians found the corpse of a Reaper in a crater on the planet known as Jartar in 2163. And the hegemony has strongly denied finding the thing as they research on it. So while it isn't impossible for a random Batarian mercenary with no status at all to know about the Reapers, I'd argue it's severely unlikely.
Hey, where did we put Arrival in the mission tier list?
I believe we put it in, A tier.
Probably overrated it a bit, didn't we?
I still like Arrival. Who cares if it has a few plot holes? It wouldn't be the only thing in the Mass Effect trilogy to be poorly written.
Well, Arrival has a good hook and a strong finish with some decent combat in the middle. But the smaller details are definitely lacking due to what seems like a rushed development. As we mentioned before, the Batarian helmets just being the same model as the human ones screams of lack of attention to detail.
I'm reading here that Arrival released in March of 2011.
Just over a year before Mass Effect 3 dropped.
Damn, no wonder things started getting sloppy toward the end. They were working on DLC.
All of Mass Effect 2's DLC would have been developed in alignment with Mass Effect 3, given that they all released in the 2-year gap between the games.
The development time there seems hellish.
Yeah, to this day, I can't believe they got the third game out in March of 2012. Should have taken a lot longer with it.
Well, if there's one bit of hope we can all latch on to here with Veilguard on its way, BioWare can sit down and properly take its time with Mass Effect Epsilon.
Foreshadowing the Derelict Reaper?
Both Arrival and the Shadow Broker mission seem to be written under the assumption that you've progressed through the end of the game, which definitely makes it all the more odd that you unlock both missions after Horizon.
We're lucky deciding to not do Arrival until well after Hackett contacted us. Didn't result in Kenson being tortured to death.
Or much worse, result in the Reapers flying in through our back door.
Much I know for certain.
If you're working near a Reaper artifact, how have you avoided indoctrination?
Well, about that.
We've been very careful. We know what we're dealing with. You're not speaking to a child, Shepard.
This has to be the fastest sentence to age poorly I've ever seen.
I don't know, Donald, didn't you say something about the last president to be killed not being a Republican? And then you're getting shot at by some 20-year-old guy?
Yeah, but unlike JFK, I actually know how to get down.
Jesus Christ, Donald.
Oh, shut up. Everyone on the internet started clowning me for getting shot at within the same 24 hours that it happened, and now no one even cares about it anymore. I'll be damned if I can't make fun of someone who got shot over 60 years ago.
The commander needs to confirm the artifact.
Right. I'll get everything set up for your arrival. Project Base out.
Welcome to Project Base.
What's this?
That's our countdown to arrival. When that gets to 0...
So I'm sure most of you are aware of this, but if you do actually sit here and wait for that timer to count down to 0, the Reapers will in fact show up, and you'll get a pretty haunting cutscene, which includes Kelly's face melting.
Why is it always Kelly?
I guess the Reapers really don't like psychology students.
So you're telling me the Reapers are, at this very moment, 2 days away from flying into the Milky Way? Aren't we kind of cooked?
Yes, but the entire point of blowing up the relay is to buy some more time. As Kenson explained earlier, we're more than a few months away from the next mass relay, even flying at faster than light, which does check out, as there's a time skip of 6 months between the end of Mass Effect 2 and the beginning of the Reaper invasion.
You know, it never really hit me, but just how much faster than light are the Reapers moving?
So we throw around the term FTL, and that's mainly because the exact speed starships travel at is largely unknown. However, the Codex does clue us in on how fast the Reapers can move. By estimating their location in dark space, we can suggest the Reapers can travel nearly 30 light years in a 24-hour period.
Am I supposed to be surprised?
That would put the Reapers' travel speed at 10,957 times the speed of light. For you power scalers out there, That would make the Reapers massively FTL+.
Okay, but mind you, this is only when they're actually using their FTL drives.
In comparison, according to Mass Effect Revelations, human starships in 2165 are capable of flying 50 times the speed of light, or 0.14 light years in 24 hours, though I'm sure we've leveled up since then. Another interesting note, despite traveling to an entirely different galaxy, the Andromeda Initiative arcs are still much slower than the Reapers. It took them 634 years to travel 2.5 million light years, putting their speed at 3,900 times the speed of light. The Tempest, Ryder's ship, can do 13 light years a day.
My head is starting to hurt from all these numbers.
I'm pretty sure that's just the giant fucking Reaper artifact that these dumbasses have out in the open.
No, that's not good.
You know, seeing us get clearly affected by this Reaper technology, it does lend more legitimacy to the indoctrination theory.
No, it doesn't. If Shepard is indoctrinated, why are we able to continue with our mission to destroy the mass relay? The Reapers should just stop us.
Not to mention that right after this, we're about to continue with our mission to wipe out the collectors without any sour yellow notes getting in the way.
Also, another thing, why didn't Kenson just fucking shoot us?
Maybe she's fighting the indoctrination.
If the matriarch can't fight the indoctrination, then there's no way in hell Amanda Kenson can. Well, there's no real need to fight this out. Once Object Row's power level hits over 9,000, we'll lose anyway.
You might as well just walk out and die.
But that's how losers think. It's time to turn up the volume and make this a funeral for the dead.
You're seriously going to fight this out?
Mama Trump ain't raised no quitter.
Well, looks like Mama Trump raised a guy who's about to get his ass blown out anyway.
I'm totally fine.
Donald, I think you have someone on Barton Joe Shepard's left.
Okay, well, f this guy in particular.
You got to do something about that guy, Donald. You're getting pinned.
God fucking damn it.
Congrats, Donald. You lasted about 40 seconds.
We should count that against him.
Hell no, that's an unwinnable situation. We didn't even go to a game over screen.
I'd love nothing more than to count that against Donald. It would be to my benefit. But that obviously doesn't count.
You see, that's why I wanted to be on Vanguard. I would have just charged directly into that guy, blown him up, and kept things moving.
You went down because you tried to aggressively push that one guy who flanked you instead of, moving to the cover that was directly behind you.
Why exactly do they want us alive?
I guess so they can turn us into some Reaper monster to do their bidding.
All I'm going to say is if they had just blown our brains out right now, the Reapers would have won inside of the next 2 days.
No glitch. The sedatives aren't working.
You really are built different.
This is consistent with what we saw after drinking the poison in Afterlife. It seems Shepard's body can process substances quickly.
These Project Base guys are sorry as hell. They had assault rifles and helmets and still got dropped by single punches from us.
Step away from the terminal.
So, why is the mech control console inside this room?
Also, we didn't even have to hack it. It was just unlocked right away.
Getting outgunned by a Loki mech has got to be the most embarrassing thing I've seen in this entire game. Like this is worse than when Joe fell into the lava during Project Overlord.
Well, I'm glad someone is worse than I am.
Why the hell are the security mechs even in the med bay to begin with? Shouldn't they be, in the security section of the base?
At the very least, the console should be on the outside of the room that is seemingly designed to be locked down.
Also, hang on a second. They may have taken our body armor and our guns, but we still have our Omni tool and biotic amp, right? Why are we messing with the mechs? Why don't we just slap on our tech armor and body these bots ourselves?
I guess being sedated has messed with our judgment skills a little.
We're back in our fit, ready to slaughter everyone on this base.
I have to get this asteroid moving.
Wait, what the f***? How long were we out?
When we arrived at the base, there were over 51 hours left before the Reapers arrived. So we were out for about 49 hours.
You're telling me that we were out for 2 days and no one came looking for us?
Well, damn, I guess no one on the Normandy really cares about us.
Even if you want to say Shepard didn't go around telling anyone about this mission because Hackett wanted things kept on the down low, there's still no way to hide our location from the rest of the team. We took the Normandy shuttle down and it returned to the ship, which means the Normandy is somewhere in the star system. Someone on the crew should know we dropped on Eritol.
Not to mention that Edie and Joker should have an idea of where we went. Plus, Miranda should have an idea. She does monitor everything that's happening. And that information should be getting relayed to the elusive man.
And even if no one else knew what Shepard was up to, why didn't we call anyone after we secured Kenson? The Normandy could have met with us at Project Base.
This whole thing is a mess.
Well, I guess it's a good thing we don't have any other time-sensitive events happening right now.
All right, I think we get the point. The Arrival DLC has more holes than the inside of Joe's skull.
Yeah, okay, whatever, dude.
Now, enough talk. It's time for me to devastate these Project Base guys.
Oh man, we're gonna have to deliver bad news to a bunch of families after this one.
At least the dialogue is nice enough to give us their names.
Rest in peace to Thomas and Maxwell. Don't worry, the rest of your friends will join you soon.
This must be a terrifying event for these guys.
Can you blame them? They're on the wrong side of the Butcher of Torfin's gun. I'd be shitting myself too.
Well, damn, now I kind of feel bad. We interrupted these guys during lunchtime.
You were gleeful as hell about getting to slaughter these guys, and now you feel bad because you might have caught them while they're eating shitty military meals?
There's no time more sacred than one's time to eat.
Watch the flamethrower, Donald.
I see him. I don't need you to warn me. Who do you think I am, Sleepy Joe?
If there is a god in this world, you'll get cooked.
The only one too slow to blow up the pyro enemies is you, buddy.
God, seeing them just erupt like that never gets old.
That's just a preview of what's coming for the Batarians later on.
Let's get through here, Shepard.
Those are brave words for a scientist.
Pretty sure the indoctrination is making them fearless.
Gotta admit, there are definitely a lot of guys in the base. They came packing heat.
Makes sense. They are in Batarian space after all. Gotta be ready for slavers or pirates.
Well, unfortunately for them, they prepared for pirates and not Commander Shepard cutting through their forces.
How the hell would you even prepare for Commander Shepard to begin with?
Well, if it's you, you just load up a bunch of pyros and let them take care of things.
Okay, does anyone have a not smart-ass answer?
Well, the collectors felt the need to send their vessel to kill Shepard. So I guess anything less than that and you're playing with fire.
God damn it.
Those project engineers can be a real pain.
God, please let him burn to death. I'm begging you.
Joe, even if I died right now, you'd still be in dead last by a huge gap.
It only takes one spark to begin the fires of demise.
I don't fucking think so, you damn pyromaniac.
What's the matter, Donald? You scared? Get your ass back in there.
Not about to cook me, you little bitch.
This world isn't fair.
Joe, you can't be mad that Donald actually knows what to do.
Yes, I can.
Let him throw his hissy fit. It's about all he's got left these days.
Well, that's interesting. I never really noticed it before, but it only takes us 6 minutes from when we suit up to get to this console.
It's not surprising these guys are light work.
Oh, baby, keep going. I'm almost there.
Whoa, Donald, what the fuck?
Oh, hell nah. I'm not trying to be in the same space as you right now.
Oh, relax. I'm just keeping my edge streak going.
We'll do that somewhere else, definitely not in the White House.
You're about 8 years too late to stop that from happening.
Oh, gross. Come on, man. I have my wife in here.
Thank God I was number 44.
In other news, I guess Donald has the record for the most amount of kills in the videos.
Well, yeah, as if things could end any other way. I didn't hear that last part.
Man, sure was weird how that dialogue wheel only had one option on the bottom.
I guess they didn't have time to come up with a second option. It's understandable, as we said before, Arrival likely had a rushed development. So there can't have been enough time.
In other news, it seems Joker actually got a voice line in this one.
I'm 90% sure that was a repurposed line from some other mission. I just can't remember where.
Okay, so why exactly is Kenson telling us what her intentions are instead of, just going and doing it?
For once, you've asked a good question.
I really don't know what to make of the writing here. Kenson's indoctrination is not like any other example from anywhere else in the trilogy. Even Shepard's supposed indoctrination in the theory makes more sense than this.
If blowing up the asteroid using an element zero core meltdown was an option, why didn't the Reapers just make her do it in the first place? Like as soon as she was indoctrinated.
Honestly, man, the longer this goes on, the more convinced I am we screwed up during the mission video.
Well, you live and learn. Let's focus on the bright side of things, like the 304,942 Batarians we're about to wipe out.
Be careful, Barack. You keep talking about dead Batarians like that, and you're going to have a mess to clean up.
Will you please stop talking about that? No one needs that visual.
Though we say we're killing 300,000 Batarians, there are a bunch of poor slaves on Eratot that will unfortunately meet a fiery end.
It's a sad but very necessary sacrifice to reduce the number of Batarians in the galaxy.
Besides, from what we know of Batarian slave camps, we're probably doing these people a favor.
Friend or not, I will kill you.
Kenson, my dear, I'm looking to increase my NPC kill count, and you're quite the target. All the game has to do is just give me the react and I'll do it.
There is no escape. There's no redemption for what you've done.
I don't think we need to be redeemed for what we're doing to the Batarians.
I think she means stopping the Reapers.
Who said anything about Reapers?
You know what? You're right. Carry on, Donald.
Damn it, Kenson.
God, I love blowing these guys up.
What in the hell is that noise?
Where the hell did they find that guy?
I hope Project Guard number 1337 enjoyed his little 5 seconds of fame.
Poor Williams, you really should have made sure you were on the other side of the door before trying to lock me in maintenance.
Didn't realize he was the one trapped, not us.
It was going to take a lot more than 2 damn guys as backup to stop us.
All Williams did was make sure 2 of his boys aren't too far behind him.
I do like that these guys have names.
Well, a few of them anyway. If they had more time, it would have been nice if we had been allowed to roam around the project base on our own and get to talk to these NPCs. Kind of like on Pharaohs, except this time we have no choice but to kill them.
Come on, Project Pyro, get his ass.
Move wisely, Donald.
It's time for a tactical retreat, baby.
You gotta be f***ing kidding me. If that had been me, that Pyro would have fired again the very second I left cover.
I'm just better than you. I don't know what else to say.
I'm actually starting to worry a bit now I might not win Mass Effect 2.
Did you seriously think I'd let you run away with things here?
Well, supposing you don't die in the rest of this mission, and in your final episode, I guess we'll have our tiebreaker in Mass Effect 3.
Hey, what about me?
Everyone knows you're not a real contender. You never have been, to be honest, but you damn sure aren't now.
Joe, the way things are going, you better just get to work practicing your Vanguard mechanics. Because I'm not gonna lie to you, you're in for an even harder time going into Mass Effect 3.
There's no way it could get harder, right?
Do you need me to remind you that your #1 enemy, Grissom Academy, is in Mass Effect 3?
There's no way I'm actually playing Grissom Academy, right? I mean, it's not like there's some unseeable individual manipulating the episode so I get severely unlucky and get my least favorite mission in the trilogy.
I don't know, Joe. I guess we'll have to wait and see.
There is something up with Kinson's indoctrination. Now she's telling us her backup plan to override power to the engines. She could have done that without speaking to us.
At this point, I'm convinced she wants us to win.
Step away from the reactor.
You've ruined everything. I can't hear the whispers anymore.
So does that mean the Reapers just gave up on using Kenson to stop us?
I don't really get it, and at this point I'm tired of the Cinema Sins routine.
All you have to do.
I make good on my promises, Kinson.
Obviously, she'll die no matter what when she sets off the explosion.
Said explosion is going off anyway. Sounded like Kenson was still alive there.
Emphasis on was.
Whether my shot killed her or not, that's still my kill.
Warning, collision imminent is probably the last thing you want to hear when you're waking up.
It's a good thing no one showed up and found us while we were still unconscious.
Warning, collision imminent. Warning, collision imminent. Warning, collision imminent.
Joker, this is Shepard. I need a pickup. Now.
I really dislike how dumb this scene portrays our crew.
Damn it.
Even if our previous communication to Joker was a bit hard to get out, surely he would start looking around the star system and notice the giant f***ing rock getting ready to slam into the relay.
Wait, what the hell? Where did all our time go?
What are you talking about?
When we started the thrusters earlier, we had about 1 hour and 50 minutes left on the time. Are you telling me it took us over an hour and a half to get here?
We did get knocked out for a bit there.
Being knocked out is probably why we lost so much time, but the way fiction often treats being knocked unconscious is a bit of a pet peeve of mine. Being knocked out for like an hour and 30 minutes would be cause for serious alarm.
It is honestly kind of crazy when you remember that Shepard does all of this after shrugging off a sedative.
For all the complaining and criticizing we've done about Arrival through now, you gotta admit this is a pretty amazing scenery for the final push.
The relay getting closer and closer definitely makes things intense.
Gotta wonder how goddamn fast we're going here.
Also, I guess the lack of gravity isn't a problem.
I'm sure there are magnets or something at work here. If you manage to push an enemy into the air using biotics, they'll go flying into the distance.
We should all be glad none of the space rocks flying past us aren't, slamming into anything or anybody.
That would suck. You make it to the last bit of the mission and a big-ass rock slams into Shepard.
Oh crap, we missed the school bus.
Doesn't that mean some indoctrinated members of this group escaped?
Hopefully we told Hackett about that in private later on.
Hope the Normandy's listening. Motherfucker, the Normandy should be here right now. How do they not see this massive rock flying towards the only way out of the star system?
Maybe they left the star system?
Okay, 1, why would they do that? 2, we're going to see later on why they definitely didn't leave this system after dropping Shepard off.
All right, let's get the hell out of here so we can see the fireworks.
You boys got your snacks? You gotta have something good to eat for what's about to happen.
I think this is one moment where we can all put our differences aside and bond as boys over this wondrous scene we're about to see.
You're right, let's truly bury the hatchet here. Donald, I'm truly sorry for going back on our original deal. That was my bad.
You know what? I'll let it slide from here. In honor of the Batarians we're about to watch get annihilated on this glorious day.
This is the kind of thing that brings the Paragon and Renegade players together as one.
Oh look, it's a giant bug.
If you do arrival before the suicide mission, you'll be greeted by the Collector General. If you do it after, you'll see Harbinger in its Reaper form.
Against inevitability, dust struggling against cosmic winds. This seems a victory to you.
You see, that's your problem, Harbinger. You're as dumb as the rest of the bots. Your programming doesn't understand the sheer joy destroying Batarians can bring. This is the greatest victory of my life.
It's time for arguably the best speech in the game.
Yes. People will die. Maybe we'll lose half the galaxy. Maybe more. But I will do whatever it takes to rid the galaxy of the Reaper threat. However insignificant we might be. We will fight, we will sacrifice, and we will find a way. That's what humans do.
The indomitable will of the human spirit, baby. Put some respect on it.
My boy Simon from Gurren Logan knows what that's all about.
Row, row, fight the power.
Prepare yourselves for the arrival.
How about you prepare yourself for the L you're going to get on the suicide mission?
Commander Shepard, Normandy inbound for pickup.
Who in the hell is that supposed to be?
I guess some random Normandy crew member.
See, there's no way the Normandy left the star system. They got here way too quick. They had to be around here somewhere. They definitely didn't come out of the mass relay either.
Barry, man, we hear you, but you're kind of spoiling the mood.
You're right, that's my bad.
That is a massive fucking rock.
We moved that thing in just under a couple hours, too.
Get us out of here, Joker.
It's nice to see you too, Joker. It's not like we didn't almost die down there.
Leave the man alone. He's locked in and trying to beat the big asteroid through the relay.
Man, it would really suck if the relay had been able to warp the asteroid away before it crashed.
Oh man, this is going to be good.
Absolute cinema.
As I've said before, f***ing immaculate.
Good work, we delayed the Reapers and absolutely nothing of value was lost.
We should find another Batarian star system with a mass relay and do it again.
If only we were so lucky. But something this amazing could only be done once.
Huh. Looks like you've recovered.
Sorry you have to see me in this Cerberus fit, Admiral. It wasn't my decision.
Kind of crazy that we heard Admiral Hackett's voice throughout all of Mass Effect 1 from the very beginning of the game through the side missions. But this is the first time we're actually getting to see him.
It would be even crazier if you didn't have the Arrival DLC back in the day. Your first time seeing Hackett wouldn't have been until all the way in Mass Effect 3.
And destroyed an entire Batarian system. What the hell happened out there, Commander?
We were having a little fun, that's all.
Tell about what happened?
All I know is I sent you out there to break Amanda Kenson out of prison. And now an entire system is destroyed. I hope you could fill in the leap of logic between those two events.
Well, I can't blame him for his confusion. How a simple rescue mission turned into us blowing up a damn mass relay is honestly pretty insane.
Then she captured and sedated me and held me against my will. She wasn't willing to stop the invasion. So I did what had to be done.
And by that we mean destroying the Batarian world of Aratot, which was sitting way too close to human space.
Damn shame.
And there's still no real explanation as to why Kenson and her team went for a Reaper artifact without any countermeasures for indoctrination.
Barry, come on.
Okay, sorry, my bad. That's the last one.
Literally had minutes to spare.
I'm sure all the details are in your report.
I hope the report correctly explains that there was absolutely nothing we could do to warn the Batarians.
For a witch hunt. And we don't want war with the Batarians.
Speak for yourself. This war has been a long time coming.
Attaboy, Joe.
What are you saying?
You did what you did for the best of reasons, but there were more than 300,000 Batarians in that system.
I think you mean there were only more than 300,000 Batarians in that system.
Any sacrifice is worth stopping a Reaper invasion.
I happen to agree with you. I'm sorry those Batarians lost their lives.
You're a better man than me, Admiral.
To make the difficult decisions that get people killed. Unfortunately, not everyone will see it that way.
Well, there isn't anything we can do about it now. We don't have the 7 Dragon Balls or anything like that.
Evidence against you is shoddy at best. But at some point, you'll have to go to Earth and face the music.
And here we have the transition into the next game when Shepard goes to Earth.
It's a good thing they were willing to wait for us to finish our business.
I didn't expect to see you aboard a Cerberus vessel.
I don't like Cerberus or the way they do things.
I'm just going to remind everyone of what happened to Admiral Kahaku here.
Something about the state of the galaxy. So for now, I can be friendly.
If you do this after the suicide mission, Hackett, we'll question whether the Normandy is actually a Cerberus vessel anymore, indicating that we've cut ties.
Used to wage war on us since we showed up in the galaxy.
With all due respect, Admiral, the Batarians didn't need an excuse to start the raid on Mindawar or the attack on Elysium. The only reason they stopped is because we put the fear of God into them on Torfin.
What's the Alliance doing about the Collectors?
We're setting fleets around our major colonies and evacuating our smaller ones. But the ships that encountered the Collectors haven't reported back.
Yeah, that checks out. The Collector vessel tore the Normandy apart like cardboard. Any other ship would get folded.
Thank you, Admiral.
Do whatever you have to do out here. But when Earth calls, you make sure you're there with your dress blues on, ready to take the hit.
Well, thankfully, the impending Reaper invasion will prevent us from suffering any consequences for our
I
actions.
see a report to know you did the right thing.
Yes, sir.
Hey, Hackett, while we've got you here, I think you should have some data analysts take a closer look into the archives on Mars. There is something extremely... Okay, never mind. I guess you'll find out later.
Well, that does it for the Arrival DLC.
Oh man, I'm feeling fulfilled after that one.
Definitely a nice palate cleanser after the horrors we witnessed during the Overlord mission.
Well, we're nearing the end of Mass Effect 2 here, but we've still got plenty of work to do. Next time I'll be taking us through the GOAT DLC mission itself, Lair of the Shadow Broker.
After that, it'll be back to the main story.
Yep, but for now you know what the deal is. Stay safe out there, drink plenty of water, get some sleep, and we'll see you on the next one.
Really, Commander? Probing Uranus.
Ah, that never gets old.